As the amount of data increases, the LTO program is pushing back the boundaries of magnetic media innovation to deliver the advanced technologies that will preserve precious information for decades to come. Any magnetic media, like tape or disc, has a fixed format. Disc enclosures and tape cartridge dimensions have to remain a constant size. So how do you get more capacity if you can't increase the size of the container? It might sound backwards, but to record more data in a fixed area, you need to reduce the space occupied by the bit cells that contain each bit of information. This can also be described as increasing the areal density of the media. Areal density is a description of how many bits can be stored on a magnetic recording surface. But as you increase the areal density, media engineers encounter some formidable challenges which require some astonishing scientific knowledge and innovation to overcome. The first challenge is that the smaller the individual bit cell becomes, the fewer particles it contains that can generate a strong enough signal for the bit value, either 1 or 0, to be written. Now, you can tackle this by making the particles smaller. In theory, more particles means a stronger signal for each bit. But it's difficult to shrink the particles beyond a certain size without compromising their ability to maintain a magnetic state in a stable way. The smallest size that is practical to use for magnetic media recording is known as the superparamagnetic limit. One way to get closer to the superparamagnetic limit is to increase the coercivity of the particles. Coercivity is the ability of a magnetic material to withstand having its magnetic state changed. Small, highly coercive particles won't flip their values at random. But high coercivity brings its own challenges because if the particles resist having their magnetic state altered, you can't store 1s and 0s in the bit cells to begin with. One of the reasons hard disk drive capacity growth has slowed dramatically is because hard disk areal densities are already very close to the superparamagnetic limit. This means particles cannot be made any smaller without either becoming unstable or too resistant to having their magnetic state changed. Technologies like heat-assisted magnetic recording and microwave-assisted magnetic recording are designed to boost areal density by overcoming the issue of writing to very highly coercive media. But these are largely unproven at scale, and the gains in capacity that are being achieved are relatively modest in comparison to data growth. By contrast, tape still has plenty of headroom for areal density increases because a tape has a much greater recording surface. The latest prototypes prove that tapes with over 500 terabyte capacity are possible before the end of the decade. But the areal density of these advanced tape technologies will still only be a third of today's 18 terabyte hard drives. That's why experts and analysts now expect tape to be a key storage technology of the future, including for hyperscale cloud providers. With its other benefits of ultra-low cost, scalability, offline security against cyber threats, and low energy requirements, it's clear that LTO tape technology, not hard disk drives, will be the best medium to store the majority of the vast amounts of cold data that will exist in the zettabyte era.